Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Debate with Sam and Tate, brought to you by drroto.com. Get your daily prescription of fantasy sports. This episode is brought to you by WinView Games, the nation's sports prediction leader and home for pregame and live prop contests. You can play against your league mates, you can play against your family, your friends, you can play against your co-hosts to find out who knows their props, their fantasy best. And this week's game that we're going to be covering is, of course, the Thursday night matchup of the Packers versus the Cardinals. But before we get into that, I want to make sure to remind you guys to go to winview.tv/doc. They will be matching up to $100 of your first deposit. Go over there, get that deposit. That's free money right there in your pocket. Go get it. And then we will be covering a couple other players we love in week 8. And actually, today, instead of Derek Tate, I hope your daughter feels better, and likely, I understand you have to miss for a sick kid. I understand. You are missed. But I'm here and joined by Danger. Thank you so much for coming on with me.
I am so happy to be here on the Fantasy Debate with Sam and Tate during NFL Week 8.
It was the perfect rhyme, and as soon as Tate realizes that, he's going to be even more bummed that we didn't get to record, because if I know anything about him, he loves rhyming.
I know. I love it. That's the only thing I know about him.
There's so many things. Like him and I are similar souls in that we're both into the Marvel universe. We're into every single comedy reference, and that's half of hopefully what people like to tune in for, is our funny banter back and forth. But at least I know that you and I are akin in our Star Wars love. We have that together.
Oh yeah. You see, look at this. You didn't even know I was wearing that, did you?
Nope, I didn't even know. Let's go. Oh my God, I love that shirt.
Just got back from Disney. Had to go to Star Wars Land. Had to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, so cool. I still haven't been yet. They just finished building that in LA, and I haven't gotten to go to it yet. But
well, I'd show everybody the lightsaber, but with the green screen and the green lightsaber, it doesn't work really well. So we'll save that for another time.
That tells me that you've already tried it before.
Yeah, certainly did.
Amazing. All right. Well, before we get into WinView props and everything fun about the Packers-Cardinals matchup and who the hell is going to be starting at wide receiver for the Packers, let's talk about some other players in week 8 that we love. In my notes, I'd love to start with some running backs that I love this week, and I'm hoping we'll have fantastic bounce back in Austin Eckler for one. The Chargers were absolutely decimated by the Ravens the last time we saw them, and I think everyone that has shares of Austin Eckler might be a little bit nervous going into this matchup against the Patriots and their tough defense, but I think I have some faith in Eckler. What do you think?
Oh man, I mean, total fall on their face, wasn't it? It was
brutal.
It was bad. I think he's got it in him, though. I mean, he's been on 3 or 4 out of my 8 fantasy teams this year, and I have been loving it. And it didn't work out so well for me 2 weeks ago, but I'm with you. I think he is all over it. I don't think that Belichick is going to be able to stop him and Williams and Keenan Allen, and I think he's going to have to focus on the wide receivers. So I think it's an Austin Eckler game. I'm with you.
No, I definitely think it's an Eckler game. I love him in this matchup. I think that, like you said, Bill's going to be focusing on the other receivers, although I do love that Mike Williams is back and healthy. I'm hoping that he's going to have a big game as well this week. I have him listed in my wide receivers that I love this week, because we can talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about another matchup that I love, and I'm hoping we'll have even more fantasy goodness for everyone. And with DeAndre Swift going up against the Eagles this week, he had a surprisingly good week against the Rams last week.
Indeed. Man, that was a wacky first quarter of that game.
It was weird.
I live here in Michigan. Shockingly, just found out, I think last week, I live within a couple hours of Mr. Tate. So we're going to have a beer together one of these days.
100%, yes.
And so before I even looked up, I'm like, I was on Facebook posting something, and I just saw the feed just started blowing up. Like, what the hell is going on? So I flipped the game on, and it's 10-0 Lions.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't think the Lions were expecting to be up by that much early, but they really, I had a lot of fun watching that game. It looked like they were enjoying themselves that first quarter at the very least. They had everything on the line, and you just got to try it to get the win. And I loved seeing the trick plays. I loved, going for it. And hey, the Lions got to go for it in every fourth down, in my opinion, right now.
On the other side of that ball, though, if Sanders doesn't play, how interested are you in Gainwell and seeing what he can do against the Lions?
Very interested. I like him a lot in this matchup. I think did I have him written in my Stockwatch article? Not to put you on the spot and making sure that you actually read my stuff. Totally did. But I think that, I mean, I feel like with Sanders and Gainwell, we saw them kind of equally bounce off of each other and both see usage. I think that with Sanders out, I love Gainwell and his pass game ability. He's going to get a couple passes here and there. So I love that additional bump up for PPR
Sadly,
purposes.
it looks like Sanders might pull it out this week. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that.
Yeah, but if he's kind of dinged up, is it 100% Sanders?
I'm excited. I'm excited to watch Gainwell.
I'm excited too. I think that he's just going to be a lot of fun.
Like on 5 teams. I just need him to be valuable. That's all.
He had 8 targets last week.
Yes. Well, he scored like 19 and 20 in the last 2 weeks in fantasy points for me. So on my bench both times, but it's fine. It's totally fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just that dog meme where the fire's all around him.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. But even with if Sanders is out and if Gainwell is in, I think that, for as a pace back, I think that Boston Scott will see a lot of rushing attempts. But I just want to, if it's just the two of them, I'm giving the edge in fantasy output to Gainwell.
Agreed.
Love it. See, this is going to go great. You're agreeing with me the whole
fine.
time. Tate and I just argue the whole
time. But,
not really much of a fantasy debate if we just keep agreeing. There's like a couple shows here and there where Tate and I will just keep agreeing and we're like, this is weird. Can we just like find something to disagree on for a minute? And then we get back to our normal pace of being like, that's a great take. I hate it.
I'm looking through your notes right now and I think we're going to have some fireworks. It's fine.
Okay, fine. Sure. All right. Let's talk about receivers. I want to talk about DJ Moore. Carolina was, I think atrocious is too subtle a word to say for that offense that last week and what they were able to do against the Giants.
Yeah. Let's not talk about how, by Mageddon, is that what you called it last week?
Yeah, everyone was calling it that. It wasn't just me.
Where I had to, spot start a few quarterbacks across most of my leagues. And you know who that ended up being? Sam Darnold. And the man got benched. Look, I think he got kind of exposed. I think he had a really awesome start to the year. I think if you're looking at pure box scores, you're looking at pure fantasy points, you get lost in the match that the first few weeks he had 5 rushing touchdowns. That's just not going to keep up. It's not going to happen.
Nope.
CMC being hurt, Hubbard is not him. Yeah. It's just not been good. Robbie Anderson, I think we talked about it in the show that we just recorded with Chris Emmerich. He's catching like 30% of passes, and he's probably the most targeted but yet least effective wide receiver in the league right now. I got no love for DJ Moore. I think
love.
No, I just don't. The quarterback play there is just so bad, and I think their team got exposed in it. And I gotta see him do it again. I'm out. I'm out on Carolina.
I understand you're out, but this matchup is very favorable for him. The Falcons have allowed 9 passing touchdowns to receivers in the past 6 games. Like, if someone's going to end up in the end zone, it's going to be DJ Moore against this offense. And then I just feel like this is a good game for Panthers and for the Falcons on both sides of the ball. This could be like a sneaky shootout game where there's just zero defense and nothing but scoring.
I can see that. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I just, I got that feeling that Carolina is just, it's just not good. They're just not.
I mean, I understand.
Yeah, I'm out. Look, I don't own DJ Moore. I don't have a single share in 8 leagues. None. And I'm not touching it in DFS. So I'm just out. I'm out. Sorry.
I might spitefully make a DFS lineup with DJ Moore this weekend.
All right, fair.
You're like, have fun. Enjoy betting your $5.
Emmerich likes Moore too. It's fine.
Yes. And he's like the guru of
he has been this year. He's been killing, and last year and the year before.
I know.
And the year before that. It's fine.
Hey Chris, when you watch this show, because I know you totally watch all of our shows, can you sponsor me?
Yeah. Yeah. Adoption available, please. Yeah.
Please adopt me. Let's talk about Mike Williams. We were talking about the Chargers a moment ago, but I really do feel like this could be a boom comeback game for him. They've allowed the 12th most points per game to receivers. The Patriots have.
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about Bill trying to take out the number one weapon, right?
Keenan Allen.
He's been successful at that. I argue that it's going to be Mike Williams he tries to take out of the game. I argue that I am, especially in DFS, I think this is my Keenan Allen week.
Okay.
I don't think Keenan has been the number one guy this year. Mike Williams has been arguably a top 2 or 3 wide receiver in the league for the entire year this year. He's averaging over 21 DK points, which is amazing. I think only like Tyreek Hill's ahead of that. I think it's Mike Williams they try to focus on. I am betting DFS heavy on Keenan Allen this week.
All right.
But I like Mike Williams too. I like Keenan Allen a little bit more.
All right. I still think they're going to take out Keenan Allen, so I think it's going to be a big Mike Williams week, but we will see next week who is right and who is wrong.
Side bet.
I love it. All right. Let's talk a little bit about quarterbacks, and a quarterback that we shouldn't be this worried about going into the rest of the season, but Patrick Mahomes has me kind of scratching my head. A lot of people scratching their heads, and I think that a lot of people don't want to talk about it because no one wants to speak ill of the Mahomes, because anytime you do or doubt him, he comes back and completely bites you in the ass and destroys you. Even if you're not playing against him, somehow magically additional points just like pummel onto you because you spoke ill of Mahomes. And then just the way that the Giants played against the Panthers last week, it's just, I would normally think, okay, Chiefs versus the Giants, this is going to be an easy game for the Chiefs. But right now, I don't know that it's going to be an easy game. Giants defense had looked pretty good last week.
Yeah, this is shades of kind of the end of last year for me with Mahomes when he was clearly injured and trying to play through it. Now, I haven't really seen any reports on an injury out of Mahomes, but it just
does have a Q next to his name.
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like last year when he was, not throwing his body around and making those crazy plays, and he was kind of coming up lame a little bit a few times and trying to do things he probably shouldn't try to do. It feels like that all over again. And I have him in a few places this year, and it has hurt to watch the last couple games.
Yeah. And a point that Maddie brought up on our show on Monday that I thought was very interesting was she said, if you watch how he's moving with his offensive line, they're completely out of sync. So he's going places where they can't even protect him. So I don't know if that's just a horrible miscommunication on his part and he's just not communicating with his line. But if they're all going one way and he's just doing the opposite, clearly someone needs to get on the same page and needs to have a sit down powwow to figure out how to get this to be more succinct.
I mean, maybe it's just catching up to him that he's got, Hill and Kelsey and nothing else.
I don't believe that, though, because he's made people like Mecole Hardman relevant. He's made other players relevant throughout different times. Like there's been weeks where it's just a random person gets a touchdown and you're like, okay, well, no one started that guy. Thank you for helping no one.
Yeah. Pringle.
So, Byron Pringle. Yeah. Just, it's like, no one started him. What are you doing?
I mean, I don't think I'm quite ready yet to go on DK Sportsbook and bet, the money line on the Giants. But yeah, I'm definitely watching with some interest to see how he bounces back from the last game.
And I do feel like he does bounce back unless he's hiding a very significant injury. This could be a really good buy low situation for a very freaked out Mahomes manager. Maybe.
I'll tell you, in DFS, I'm more interested in the next guy on your list.
All right, well, let's talk about Daniel Jones on the opposite side of the ball in this game. I mean, he only had one passing touchdown last week, even though the Giants were so dominant in that game, but it was because of their running game. And I do feel like the running backs are going to be dominant again against the Chiefs because their defense can't seem to stop a cold. So to me, I feel like sneaky could be a good Daniel Jones game, but if he doesn't have 100% of his wide receivers, which I don't think that it looks like he's going to have, I might not be in on him either.
Now, I am going to be using him in a showdown captain spot. I feel like it's a good spot for him.
All right.
But I don't know. Oddly enough, I'm not really interested in watching this game other than to see how Mahomes looks. This game just doesn't appeal to me. I don't even want to watch it. I'm not going to watch it.
You don't even want to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
You're so out. You're like, I'm just so unimpressed and unenthused.
I got 3 kids, okay? I got 3 boys. I have very little time. I have to keep it to relevant things that are going to excite me, and the Giants don't excite me.
And battered and bruised Patrick Mahomes doesn't do it for you either?
Nope, I'm out.
Wow. All right. Well, So it goes. So it goes. Let's talk about a little bit about the Packers game, and I can pull up the WinView props. Guys, again, go to winview.tv/doc. Get your $100 first entry matched. Join us for the prop games. So don't mind me while I mess with the settings on this. If you're viewing or listening, I'm sorry. I just need to move my stuff on my screen. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and cover the props in a row, and then we can get to any additional notes that didn't get covered in our props for this matchup. I think this is going to be a very interesting battle between the Cardinals and the Packers. I feel like, obviously the Cardinals are undefeated. This is a fantastic additional test for them to go up against Rodgers, but I think that the Cardinals are going to pull out and win this one. We can get to, I'm sure in this props, we're going to see who is going to win it, and I just want to talk about it early, but I'm just excited for this game.
Yeah, I half jokingly in the last show with Chris said I had this gut feeling that this was a trap game for Arizona and that Green Bay was going to come win this bad boy. I think I was mostly joking. I think I started half. Yeah, there's just, Chris pointed out in the show that there was just too many injuries for Green Bay, too much going on with them, defensive injuries, offensive line injury, just too much going on, and that Arizona is just too much for them. Maybe if it was in Green Bay, but I'm feeling pretty good about Arizona, even, -6 or whatever the actual line is.
Yes. So there are 10 props in this list as I'll be trying to walk you through this process.
By the way, Sam, I just signed up with promo code DOC.
Let's go.
Today. So
are you excited to play?
I got $50 in here.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. First prop. The game is decided by 6 points or fewer.
I am going to say no, because I think Arizona is going to win by more than a touchdown.
I agree. I think that Arizona is I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I definitely do. But I think that they're going to win by a touchdown and a field goal or some sort of variation of those types of points. Maybe even by 2 touchdowns. Who knows? I just feel like they're going to be I could see a pick 6 for the defense against Rodgers and defense getting a touchdown. So I just feel like this is going to be a very tough one for them to win. So then down here, you have additional points to spend, and then you have a one-shot risk-free.
So is this kind of like a confidence pick kind of thing?
Yes. Nice. So I'm going to go ahead, and I always kind of do, Tate and I always do 750 because it's like if we're betting to win the whole thing.
Go for it.
Absolutely going for it. So making that prediction.
Boom, moving on.
Second one, Rodgers and Murray each throw 2 or more touchdowns in the game.
I think either one of those quarterbacks is probably heavily favored to both throw 2 at any given game.
Yeah.
Of course, you have some issues here. You got Hopkins kind of hobbled with a hamstring, but he's probably fine. He does this every year, right?
Sure.
You got Adams out. You got Lazard out. But also, Rodgers likes to throw to the running back. Tonyan is very good.
This could be a big Tonyan game. And maybe MVS gets pulled off of IR just in time to make this one. So this could
feel like this 3.6x is just begging you to do it because they know Adams is out.
Yeah.
I think it's a trap. I'm going to go yes for the 1.9.
I agree. It's a trap. Going to go 750 again.
It's a trap.
Make the prediction. Let's go. Prop number 3. Both teams combined to score 50 or more points in this game. This could be a very high scoring game. I like this prop a lot.
My problem is I can see, 30, 35 out of Arizona. Green Bay is hurting so much. I could see like 14 out of them. Oof.
Really? That low? See, I feel like it could be like a 35-21 type situation.
I mean, you've got a hobbled MVS probably playing, and you've got Randall Cobb and Equanimeous St. Brown.
St. Brown. Yep, you said it. This could be his game. You never know. Also, Aaron Jones is used in the passing game as well. You could see a little, dunking pass to Jones for a touchdown as well.
All right. You've convinced me. Let's go.
I did it.
All right. This is going to be a 51 point total game. 51 points.
If it's 49, please don't text me.
I'm gonna.
Yes, you will. All right, number 4. James Conner scores a touchdown in this game.
Lock button, yes. Button, yes.
Yes, 100%. He has a touchdown in each of the last 4 weeks, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a ridiculous stat. And anyone that has Chase Edmonds is just cringing every single time they see this man go across the goal line. Yes. Yep. So he's got 6 touchdowns on the season. James Conner does.
Lock it.
Let's go. Make prediction. Boom. All right. Aaron Jones and Chase Edmonds each rush for 75 or more total yards in this game.
Have either one of those guys rushed for 75 yards on the year in a game?
So Chase Edmonds had 120 yards against the Rams.
Okay.
So that was his peak.
This is a big no
was
for
15
me.
the following week.
No, this is a no for me.
No?
Like an easy no.
I don't think this is an easy no.
It's an easy no for me.
Because it's saying, this is the thing with WinView that I love-hate. They said and. Sometimes they say or. And then that's a very easy, like, yes, I'm going to definitely bet because then you get the or. But they're throwing in the and. So both of these guys each rush for 75 or more yards. I definitely see the argument of one of them getting this, but not both.
No.
So I agree with you, and I will go no on this one as well.
They've just been feeding Connor too much. Arizona's going to be leading. They're not going to rush the ball with Aaron Jones. No.
They were very sneaky throwing in Chase Edmonds. If they put James Conner there, I mean, he hasn't even actually rushed for that many yards either.
No, he just gets the touchdowns.
Which would you rather have? The touchdowns.
The touchdowns.
All right. Hopkins records the most total yards of any player in the game, rushing or receiving.
That's interesting. I mean, without Adams here, sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's tough to take a guy against the field, though, isn't it? Whew.
That's against the entire field.
The whole field. I mean, all you need to do is get, Christian Kirk to get 2 of those like 70-yard bombs that he can catch.
Pretty much. I mean,
but I like that 3.8.
Yeah. So for context, Hopkins had 53 yards last week and 55 the week before, 87 the week before that.
Yep. And he's still got a hobbled hamstring. They're begging you with that 3.8.
They are.
What's that? Scroll down a little bit. What's that 750 risk-free one shot? What is that?
So this is one where you're not penalized for going with your 750 here. Yes.
All right. I got to take the field. I can't take a single person over the field.
No, I agree. And I agree with you that it could end being like Christian Kirk ends up with a bomb of a 70-yard touchdown pass that's just going to throw him completely out of the loop.
The only time I could ever take an athlete against the field was when Tiger Woods was in his prime. And then you just picked him. Yeah. How
many rushing yards does Tiger Woods get in a matchup?
Right. 0 right now.
Amazing. All right. I'm going to go no on that one as well. We're on number 7. Either team records a single offensive play of 55 or more yards in the game. I think this is a yes based on what we were just saying.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. And I'm going to throw the risk-free one shot on there because it's in the bank. It's going to happen.
In the bank. I like it.
All right. Both teams on number 8. Both teams combined to commit 3 or more turnovers in the game.
Well, I saw this and I had to look up where they stand in turnovers, and they're both like top 10 in not turning the ball over.
Ooh. So is this a hard pass on this one?
Man, I mean, Kyler's been good.
Kyler's been efficient.
Rodgers doesn't have Adams to soak up every ball that's thrown.
I think that Rodgers throws an interception in this game. I think he throws at least one.
2. I'm going to say no. That's a lot of turnovers for these two teams. They're pretty safe with the ball.
Definitely a lot of turnovers for them. I just love how Murray is. I mean, he definitely has moments where you're like, okay, yeah, he's still getting in there, but he has a lot of very wise moments in the game. He feels such a seasoned vet already.
Yeah.
All right, number 9. Who records more time of possession in the game, Arizona or Green Bay?
I feel without Adams, Green Bay is going to do a lot of dinking and dunking. They're going to rely more on Aaron Jones. Yep. Arizona has that, they've got Hopkins is capable of big play. They've got Kirk. They got Rondale Moore that can fly down the field. I'm going to go Green Bay.
I agree because I feel like the pace of play for Arizona is just lightning quick as well. They're so efficient with every time they have the ball. They're just so damn efficient. Yeah. So I agree. I'm going to go the Packers as well. We're on our last one, syncing this up. Number 10, either team records a defensive or special teams touchdown in this game. I'm going to say yes. I think that Arizona is going to get a pick 6 off of Rodgers.
I mean, fantasy wise, Arizona's defense has, I think they're the number one scoring D right now. I think.
I will check.
I mean, Chris and I have been saying every week in DFS, talking about the double dip in Rondale Moore, running a punt back.
Yep.
So man, yeah, 5x. Let's do it. Let's go for the big win.
All right. Gonna go with yes.
5x. Yeah.
750.
Look at that.
Love it. Making the prediction. All righty. Thank you guys so much again. You have to go and check out WinView Games, winview.tv/duck. Again, get your $100 first deposit matched. That's free money. You can't say no to that. I guess you could, but that would be wrong. Don't do that. Don't say no to free money.
Never.
It doesn't make any sense. Anything else you want to touch on for week 8 before we sign out here?
Joe Mixon, 3 touchdowns.
Shut up. No.
Joe Mixon.
Not a chance. Why? No. Okay, you can't just throw that out there and just not give me a why. Give me your why. Get on the soapbox and tell me your why.
Sure, I can.
Nope.
Because he's gonna have 3 touchdowns. I don't know why. I don't know how much you've met Johnny Danger, but yeah, I mean, I play from the gut. The gut says Joe Mixon. Yeah, that team can't defend the run.
They can't defend the run, but they can't defend a lot. I think this is a game where Burrow just looks at every weapon that he has and says, "Who would like a touchdown right now?" And everyone gets one. Everybody gets
first 1 3/4 of a quarter, and then it's all Joe Mixon after that. 150 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns. Book it.
All right.
I'm writing it down on the pad right now.
First. Yeah, you write it down. You're moving your whole computer. I can tell. You're
writing
very feverishly.
Aggressively writing this down.
Aggressively writing down this take. I'm going to say no, but I would say that I think each wide receiver for the Bengals would get a touchdown in this one. I feel like it's more likely that each Chase, Boyd, and Higgins end up with a touchdown than Mixon gets 3.
Fair. There. All right, but I wrote it down aggressively, so we'll be checking into that. We'll be checking into that Sunday.
Amazing. Keep that receipt. Post it on social later so that we can check it out again. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Fantasy Debate. Check out all the other content, seasonal and DFS tools, as well as premium access to our staff for all your fantasy sports questions in the members-only Discord right here at drrota.com. Thank you guys and have a wonderful week 8.
Later, says the Danger.
It's going to love that.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out Dr.